What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's had a great day. Man, back to life, back to reality. Boy, that was quick. Got back from LA first thing this morning, and I'm back at work already. The work never, ever ends, and so you got to keep on the grind. And heading down the road, I've got a fitters fixing a drywall patch. Damn, dude, you can hardly see if the sun come across there. We just found out today that the Dallas Cowboys, this is crazy how rapidly the Cowboys are growing in value. You know, in 2004, the Cowboys were worth slightly under $1 billion, right? Slightly under $1 billion. Do you know, since that time, they have been literally skyrocketing. Last year, I believe it was $9.8 billion they were worth. They're worth another $500 million. $500 million from last year. They're worth $10.3 billion. So I want you to understand something. The growth of what they had in one season, okay, the value of it went up $500 million. You know what the salary cap is? Now, granted, this has nothing to do with how you pay on the salary because it goes with gross revenue that comes in. 48% goes to the players, 52% goes to the team. Okay, the net worth of course is the real estate that they own, you know, the value of the franchise and this, that, and the other, the television contracts and things like that. And the only way you realize that value is if you sell. It's kind of like if you have a house, and let's say it's worth $500,000. That's great because you only owe $200,000 on it. You don't realize the cash unless you get a HELOC. And if you get a HELOC, Lord help you if it ends up being one that's adjustable rate that resets as the interest rates have, because you might start out with a couple $100 HELOC note, but because the Fed kept raising interest rates, all of a sudden it's $500 for that HELOC, which you thought was going to be real cheap, because now it's at 10% interest. Be that as it may, I'm sorry, I digress. But you don't realize the value of it unless you sell. So it's great on paper to say, hey, the Cowboys are worth $10.3 billion, but you don't really have that cash, the value of it, unless you sell it. Now, don't cry for them because they're still getting 52% of that salary cap money. The players are getting $255 million, so they're getting like $280 million, okay? So don't cry for them that they're broke. But it's crazy that the Dallas Cowboys are the most valuable franchise by far of any sport anywhere on the planet. And yet, they don't play their players. Here's what's crazy about the whole thing is the Cowboys have not gone significantly deep in the playoffs, not much less the Super Bowl, in 30 years. And yet, they're worth more money than anybody else. Jerry, Stephen Jones, I know you like your money. I know you love your money. But I'm going to ask you, bro, could you imagine how much money the Cowboys would be worth when they win another Super Bowl? Could you imagine how much they would be making if they went to the Super Bowl? Just think about how many Cowboy jerseys would be sold. Think about how much Cowboys paraphernalia. Think about how many Cowboy fans would descend upon the Super Bowl. It would be insane the amount of money that would be made with the Cowboys going to the Super Bowl. I'm not going to lie to you. That shit would be off the chain. And maybe, Jerry, you need to think about that because, I know you're penny pinching every penny. You want to hold on to it. I get that. But, sometimes they say to make money, it takes money. Or another one would be scared money don't make no money. They make it hard out here to be a Cowboy fan. Sitting here as we go through the contract situation with CeeDee Lamb, allegedly they basically have agreed with the number per year. Yeah, they're working on the language in the contract to get that thing done. Now, what's even more interesting now is Jamar Chase. He's kind of rumbling out here like, wait a minute, hold up. I don't want to play in that 5th-year option. I want my deal. So now you got him holding out in practice. And you also, of course, have the Brandon Ayuk situation where Brandon Ayuk, this is where it's crazy. Supposedly, the Steelers have a deal with the San Francisco 49ers that both sides like, okay? Both of those sides have agreed. Brandon Ayuk, on the other hand, he hasn't. Brandon Ayuk is kind of like, So now you have to wonder, what do you want, bro? What do you want? You're getting out of San Francisco like you wanted. You're going to the team that you wanted. And now, you ain't signing the deal. So, are you just trying to blow everything up? That's all I'm trying to figure out. What is the deal here? Anyway, that's all we got, good people. Cowboys, they're worth a whole bunch of money, and they're still penny pinching every cent of it. Jerry, you need to get this shit done, man. Do something to get us fans re-engaged, because right now, ain't nobody happy. Oh, and I almost forgot one thing. So, Micah Parsons talking about being a running back and stuff, and basically saying, if you've never been a running back, then basically you can't really comment and understand what a running back, how he performs and so on. Because he's talking about he's a little too high and stuff, and he needs to get down lower, of course, running the football. Are the Cowboys so cheap that instead of going out and getting ourselves another running back, that we are literally going to end up playing Micah Parsons at running back too? Position flex. You know how much I love position flex. A guy who can do more than one position is my kind of guy. Good old Stephen Jones. Peace, people.